What's going on, guys? Ryan with Jedha Patrol back with another video today. We're going to be taking a look at the newly released Batlady from SooSooToys. Let's roll. That's right, guys. We're back. A DC figure for us today. This is going to be the Batlady from SooSooToys, and it was just released, and I'm super excited to have this one here. So I got mine from Pop Collectibles. If you want to get this figure, if you happen to like what you see in the video, link in the description below. There should be a discount code for you if you want to check that out. Batlady. So this is one of those figures when they initially put out the little promo photos way back when, and she had photoshopped hair. That was so they weren't finalized with the hair. They did a Photoshop thing, and we were all like, "What the heck's it going to look like?" Well, now we know because I have the figure right here. So pretty excited for this one. I'm hoping to get some interesting poses for this figure because I generally the SooSooToys figures are posable, and so we'll see like how dynamic we can make this figure look, and what's the hair like. I mean, everybody's gonna be asking like, what's the deal with the rooted hair, so we'll talk about that. But here's the box. Here it is right here, Batlady. Pretty standard SooSooToys box. We got SooSooToys Batlady on that side. This is number 30 of their figures, so there's that. And then there's like all the whodunit stuff. There is an insert for those who are slightly interested in boxes. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but there is an insert there with a dark photo of the figure. So this is going to be based on the Ruby Rose character of Batlady and in the show, and not the later season. So I'm pretty sure this is the first season figure. Just being honest with you guys, I haven't seen the show. I have no idea. I've seen like clips, went on YouTube, and I watched some clips of different things to get some posing ideas and to just kind of get the vibe of what this character is all about. Haven't seen the show, but for whatever reason, she is no longer the Batlady. But I don't think that really matters with this particular figure. I think we're gonna like it. So I actually have it here. I have the figure standing up right here. I have been messing around with this for just a little bit and posing and taking photos and stuff like that. If you want to see some photos, check out Instagram. I've got piles of stuff on there. But we're going to have the figure itself, which honestly looks pretty stinking good. So I know some people are going to say, like, what's the deal with this whole hair section? So let's just let you guys take a look at this thing, and you can make your own call. I think, honestly, it's doll hair. It is what it is. It's one of those things we're going to have to tame, right? I think it can be done. It is not untamable, I don't think. But out of the box, you're going to take a little bit. It's going to take a little bit of futzing to deal with the hair. It is a bright red. It's more like a crimson red, I guess. I don't know how that's coming across, but it's more of a crimson red situation. So that's fine. She does have a couple switch out mouth plates, which you can see. We've got like a smirk switch out mouth plate. We got a closed mouth plate, and then we've got this other one which is like open, almost like some teeth showing kind of situation going on. You can let me know in the comment section which one you prefer, or even if you have a preference. They are not magnetic. They simply peg into the face sculpt right here. They just peg off. If you've had any other figure with removable mouth plates, it's very similar. It's just not magnet. It's just pegs. It works just fine. The paint applications on the actual cowl and the eyes and where she's looking, like she's not looking off to the side, she's looking dead straight ahead, which is nice. And I think the paint applications are good. I mean, it's SooSooToys, what we expect from them. They do good work. But we not only have the rooted hair with the cowl, we also have a separate head sculpt, which honestly I quite like. I do. I really do like this other head sculpt. I will probably end up using the one with the cowl and the hair just for my display, but this one is equally as good, in my opinion. I kind of dig it. So it's nice little paint applications. There's some nice texturing, and the hair. It seems like SooSooToys is getting better. Their painters are getting better at hair. I don't know if it's just this particular one, but I feel like they're doing a little better job on hair versus some flat paint. But this is a solid figure in my opinion. So there's that. We're going to get a pile of hands. We're going to get hands with a bunch of gloves on it, or gloved hands with some metal plates. We're going to get 3 die-cast batarangs. These are actually pretty interesting to get die-cast batarangs. You don't see die-cast pieces too often. So that's kind of nice. We're going to have a staff, and then we're going to have what I'm going to assume is a grappling style gun, which is very nicely painted, honestly. It's got some crimson on there. It's got some brass or gold, some nice washes of silver, and there's some nice detail on that. So we got piles of accessories that we can pose up with and have some fun, and I will certainly be doing that. One thing to note, if I get some of the accessories out of the way, one thing to note, the cape is not wired. Now, when I get to posing, I'm going to have fun with this, and I'm going to probably add a wire of my own just to give it some flair. But the cape is not wired. It's an interesting material. It's like a very thin, I don't want to say pleather, but it's like it's synthetic material of some kind. You can see it, right? Drapes nice. It's got a nice, like a glossy, leather-like look on the outside. And then on the inside, you've got this textured situation going on here with all these red spots and just, I guess, dirt, I guess, if you will. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. It's just coloring, and I kind of dig it. The suit itself, plenty of detail, as texture throughout it. I don't have any really complaints about it. I'm assuming it's screen accurate. It looks pretty good. There's gauntlets with hints of red on the gauntlets, on the like the veins of the gauntlet, and also down on the boot. It's almost like she's been stepping in blood or something, but I'm fairly sure. I hope it's not blood. Hope not. I don't know. But as far as that goes, I think everything looks great. Nice belt with the bat symbol on it. Range of motion is going to be interesting as well. So sometimes we get stuck with single jointed figures. That is not the case on this one. So plenty of range of motion. Double joint on the elbow, double joint on the knee. So plenty of range of motion there. And then there is a undersuit. There is a undersuit padding. So you can kind of feel it around the ab crunch region, that there is some undersuit in there. So the ab crunch is not the best because you're dealing with that. It's like a bodysuit. But there is some nice range of motion on the torso. I think we can get some poses out of that. As far as the shoulders go, we can get them up to about there. That's not bad. And you can actually rotate it around. So in some of the poses, we'll probably mess around with that. And yeah, ball joint on the head and go wherever you want with that. And it's nice. And what I do like, honestly, is the split boot design that SooSooToys likes to give us. And we can actually get some range of motion out of that. Nice little silver buckles and everything going on there. I think it's a pretty good looking figure. What I want to know, honestly, is what's it going to look like posed up? Because you can have all these accessories, you can have a good looking suit and everything, but if it doesn't look good on the shelf and in your display, and when you walk by and you go, hey, I like that, it doesn't really matter, right? So let's get to the posing section. Let's see what this thing looks like with some actual action going on. And let's rock and roll with that. Let's take a look at some of the details on this particular figure, because honestly, it's pretty stinking cool how they managed to put her together. So I guess first let's take a look at the top. All right, the hair. So the hair, I have some ideas on how to tame that down. It does take a little minute to get posed up out of the box, and it could be said that maybe I didn't do the best job at it. But I have an idea on how to tame that down, but I didn't want to take the chance and messing up the hair for this particular video. I've seen some YouTube videos how to deal with that. So stay tuned. Maybe Instagram post or YouTube live or something like that. I'll kind of deal with that. But regardless of that, this is what it's going to look like out of the box. I have tamed it down just a touch, and I think the head sculpt with the cowl and the hair, I just think it looks good. I think it looks good on the shelf. I mean, you guys can, again, make your own opinions about it, but I kind of dig it, honestly. The material for the suit is nice. It's a rubbery material. It's definitely flexible, pliable. I don't think you're going to have any issues with posing. And you can see the details they've put on here. And SooSooToys, I mean, you got to give it to them. They've come a good way at delivering us figures that otherwise we would not have, and they're doing a good job at it. So, hats off to them. They're doing well. The bat signal there, or bat symbol there on the belt. I like this one. I know there's another one of these out there. This one actually, I prefer the suit material better. But again, you make that call for yourself. I like the red emblem there. I like the highlights and touches of red. Now I do have a red kicker light on there, so what you're seeing there is some lighting stuff on my end. But the bat symbol there is definitely red on a brown belt. And you can see the texture on the actual suit. It's stippling, I guess if it'd be the best word for that if you're familiar with firearms. Stippling is what I would call this. But I think they did a fine job with that. There's different highlights of red throughout the suit and all the way down to the shoes or the boots. And then we have that diorama base with the typical SooSooToys base with the diamond plate stuff going on. With her logo on it. But I think they did a fine job with this thing. So let's just take a moment to check out the other opposing opportunities you've got with this figure. I mean, look at this thing. Come on, man. Look at the detail. But here, we're going to go up here because I changed out the head sculpt that comes with this figure for the unmasked portrait. And I think, you know, if the rooted hair bothers you, and understandably so, I get it, because this is one more thing you got to mess with posing wise. This one looks pretty good. I think, and I looked for images or scenes where she looked like this with the, you know, the suit and without the, you know, she looked like this, and I found some. So I think it's screen accurate, and I think it's a pretty good look. I think the likeness is there from the actress. I don't know. I kind of like this look. It's more sleek. I don't know. If I must be honest, and I think I should, this pose took forever to do. And by forever, I mean like 15 minutes. It wasn't that bad, honestly. A little bit frustrating just because I was making it up as I went along. And I wanted to have the Batlady here in almost like almost a superhero landing pose, but she's got her staff and kind of going on here. And so the mobility in the suit, in the ab region, made me kind of cheat a little bit, almost, you know, Iron Man style. I had to cheat just a little bit, get those legs cocked back just a little further than you might want to. But on display, as you can see right here, I think it looks pretty good. We're using the display stand as a little cheat because her the abdomen section with that padded material doesn't give you the most ab crunch, but it's sufficient. And I think this works. Now you might be asking yourself, you said earlier, the cape is not wired, and it is not. I cheated using armature wire right here because it's cheap and I have a lot of it, and I think it adds some flair, if you will, to this Batlady. Big fan of this thing, honestly. It looks cool. It looks cool. I think it's a cool looking figure, but again, it's just my opinion. You take it for what you want. And here we go. I got Batlady posed up on the stand that she comes with. This is not a dynamic stand. I will zoom in here in just a second to show you what I did. I made a custom rope. As you can see, she's hanging on to those. So I literally just made those off camera a few minutes ago, and they turned out pretty well. And I made some wire. You can kind of see the wiring there. You know, if I give them more time and not trying to make a video, probably could take a little bit more time and hid those a little bit. But you get the idea. On your own display, you can take a little bit more time with this thing. But I think it looks pretty stinking good, honestly. So if you are curious how I have her posed up in this flight pose with the stand that is supplied with the figure, this is, let's see if I can zoom in here. This is all I did. So I have her foot literally cradled in there, wedged in there. And because of the boot being a harder plastic material, I don't think we're going to have any issues with damaging the suit. Whereas with the rubber one, if you try it on the rubber section, it might leave a dent. I've seen that with other figures, but that's pretty much how I decided to do that. And you can see it is the stand that comes with the figure. And that's how I did that. And then I've got some wires that I made holding up the cape. Because the cape is super thin and lightweight, it really doesn't take too much weight or cables to make that work. And then there's the custom ropes that I made as she's swinging along the city and just doing her thing. So I'm pretty pleased with this. I think you can probably tell that. From one, you know, a couple nitpicks would be, you know, just the rooted hair situation. But yeah, I get it. You know, if it had sculpted hair, it might have had limited range of motion on the actual head sculpt. So that might have been a thing. We got switch out mouth plates. Those are cool. The suit design, I think, looks good. And, you know, say what you want about the show. Again, I haven't seen it. Don't know. Some people didn't like it. Some people did like it. Whatever. As far as a 6 scale figure goes, I dig this one. I think it's pretty cool. So if you want to get one of these, check out Pop Collectibles. In the link in the description below, there's a discount code down there for you. They got them in stock right now if you want to pick one up. As always, click what you like. See you next time.